Pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on the line, down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues.
Sonic stack up off the ball, two-man play, picking off the Kempnick. He will go back and get it and tomahawk it. Get on that magic carpet and soar, baby.
And Russell takes the snap, drops back. He's going to throw down the middle. He's got a man. The ball is caught. Game over, baby. Touchdown. The game is over. The Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl in Glendale.
Thomas sizing up Jones. Crossover move. Step back. Jumper on the way. Yes! It's the buzzer! It is good! Washington has won it! Oh, my goodness!
All right, thank you for joining us. I would say yet again, but it's not yet again yet. Yet again will happen next week. So the original opening for this show is going to be Welcome into the Around the Sound Sportscast.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, pop the cherry on this guy, right? I don't have any bottles of champagne to pop or anything. Well, I guess you don't like pop champagne in celebration. Like we could bash it against the desk,
Christen the hole.
Maiden
Yeah, you gotta christen it, man.
Yeah, we'll christen this sumbitch right here. So we'll christen it by getting to know each other a little bit. I mean, we all know each other, but you guys don't know us at all yet. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be fun, dude. You'll see. Let's. I think it's only fitting that we talk to really probably one of the greatest Americans I know personally, and that's my friend Big Daddy. Big Daddy, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, dude. I'm loving America and just being proud to be a great American, the greatest.
I mean,
what I've been told.
Dude, you're so American. You make denim look American. I mean, I'm talking when you wear it, it's not even a Canadian tuxedo anymore. It is the most, dude. I'm telling you, dude, you're a Levi's commercial rolled into a Marlboro commercial, mixed in with just some Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it, but like I said, we're all gonna figure it out. So I guess I want to really talk about first with everybody. I think we should all lay our cards on the table. Big Daddy, what would you say are your areas of expertise? Let's lay it down. If you had to say your top three from 3 to 1, what are you going to be most interested in talking about with us every week?
Oh, I like number one. I think is the Mariners. I think that's my background is baseball. The most that I'm interested in. Number two is just having a good time and making fun of you guys.
Partying, living it up, judging.
Judging everybody,
I like it.
And number three, I think, is children's literature.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that joke's like an onion. That's just funny to all of us for different reasons. I don't know I don't really know how funny that's going to be to your parole officer necessarily. But again, we'll move on real quick. So moving on from the tallest guy on the cast, let's go on down to the shortest guy on the cast. Jake, bring it on home, buddy. Give me your top three. What are you all about?
Man, my top three, like Chris, baseball is definitely my number one. A close second would be some Husky football.
Shit.
I mean, kind of all college football. I actually prefer watching college over the NFL. Nice. Obviously, love my Seahawks, but the Huskies are where my heart truly lies. The third would definitely be with
if I paid somebody that much money, I'll probably be pretty excited about their improvements too. So good to watch.
When you got the money, spend it.
That's right. If you got it, flaunt it. Right. Money to blow. Although your college experience was anything like my college experience, I did not necessarily have money to blow.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So Jake, did you give me your number 3? Did I miss it? I mean, it was
Seahawks.
Your number 3. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like the Sounders or the
No,
something.
I don't watch that commie sport.
No, that's kind of why I like you. Really, I mean, really, I feel like that's when we hit it off. You know what I mean? It's like
It really is.
You hate soccer? Like, I hate soccer too.
We just become best friends.
Yeah, like, check it out, dude. Let's get to know each other. So, speaking of soccer,
Oh no, hell no! Don't put me in there. Don't do that first episode. Don't start.
Scott, you're all about it.
don't you
Come
put
on.
that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on me.
Throwing him under
No
the
way.
bus first thing.
No
I'm
way.
not throwing him under the bus, but, you'll...
No, that's pretty much throw me under the bus. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I figured, I said, get your cards on the table. Scott, lay your cards on the table. Give me your top 3. What are we talking
My
about?
top 3 is superior knowledge
and
to
I'm
all
going to
of
start
you
it out like this
in
right
every
now.
sport.
If soccer's not in your top 3, I'm calling bullshit because you really like soccer. And
I don't like
don't
American
tell me
soccer,
or
so that
the
doesn't
American people that you don't like.
You like football?
Football.
I like football. Football.
Football.
No, my top 3 is superior knowledge of every sport over all you.
I'll agree with
So.
most of the words in that sentence.
I would say number 1 is pulling arbitrary percentage numbers out of his ass to try and make his point.
Yeah, and
That's our
generally,
First off, that was
I will
one time,
give it to
and that was
Scott.
fantasy football.
Generally, Scott is in the margin of error.
I was off on my 90% today. We talked about in our fantasy football league, but I will say that probably 40 to 42 yards is around 90%. It's that 48 and 49 that kind of fucks me. So I mean, I know it's
overall last year it was just under 80% for the 40 to 49 yards.
And
before last year it's slowly gone up over the last 20 or 30 years. It used to be 50% 10 or 15 years ago. So it's gone up dramatically, obviously, as the athletes have gotten.
Kicking is much more specialized now than it ever has been. There are a lot of kickers out there that, they're humans too, okay? I mean, we always hate on kickers, but they're humans.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Case in point is...
I don't know that I'm ready
fantasy
necessarily to
Adam
call a
Vinatieri.
kicker human. I don't think I'm ready really that far. I'm more of a 5/8 kind of guy. Kickers don't really count, dude. Kickers, dude, look at kickers. Look at them. Just look at them. You can't look at...
Hey, we
I'm
have
sorry.
the American Ninja Punter, John Ryan.
Okay, and what'd he do?
He's also a ginger.
Exactly. That's twice as bad. Twice as bad. He's a fucking ginger punter. Okay, strike 1, strike 2. Right. Right off the bat. Right off the gate. Out of the chute. Already down 2 legs. Then he goes on national television, takes his fucking shirt off and shit, right? And shows off this little ninja warrior ginger body. And then, fucking just fails hardcore. Falls flat on his face. Does not get far at all. I don't have a lot of sympathy for John Ryan. I mean, I do. He's probably really, he's one of the top 3 gingers going in Seattle right now. Probably. I would say Mark Trumbo right now is probably Ginger of the Year candidate, really. I think.
Nah, nobody likes him.
No, I love him. Mark Trumbo, are you crazy? He's been my favorite thing to watch in the second half so far. Personally.
He's up there, yeah.
Yeah, Trumbo's been great.
I'm kind of digging either the offense in general or Kettle Marte.
Kettle
It's
Marte's
not Cattell,
been
damn
good.
it. It's Kettle, not Cattell.
Just call him Kmart. Can we just get it over with and call him Kmart?
I love it.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, TM. So
TM, put that on there just in case.
well, that's right. I mean, I feel like I said, this shit ain't for free. This shit is not for free. This shit is not for free. I went to a funeral this weekend and my aunt's like, how come you didn't get up to say them? I'm like, bitch, these jokes ain't for free. I'm sorry. I need $4 from everybody right now. I will get up there and make you laugh for 2 minutes. Come on. A drink, something. Anywho, Scott, give me your top 3. You never even gave me your top 3. We stopped at 1.
No, I told you my top 3. Superior knowledge over all of you in every subject.
That's number 1.
That's one.
That's one.
Number two.
Jesus.
Number two.
Superior
Number
knowledge
two.
is sports knowledge, but not math. Math fucks with them.
No, math does not compute. No. Number two would probably have to be Seahawks, just because I'm not gonna. Even though I love baseball as much as you other gentlemen do, we can't all be baseball guys. So I'll put my Seahawks up there, and then gotta love the Huskies at number three. Myself,
number
personally,
3, right where they belong.
it's still gonna be better than the Cougars, which are number.
Hey now, you keep in mind that I have full control over how you sound and the way you come out every week. I got the edit button, all right. So you just be careful talking about my Cougars that way.
Is that minus points, sir? Is that minus points?
That is, dude. You're like, you start 10 down. At least. At least. I don't even want to hear you say anything about the Cougars until I
to
talk about the
to those who
Cougars.
don't own our podcast, Mr. Mike Merriman will be our show.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand right now if you have a tattoo of your alma mater. Just go ahead and raise your hand. I know nobody can see. Go ahead. Wave it in front of the microphone and make win like I am in front of my shit right now, because that's me. That's me right there. That's me, because I have one. Okay, I went to WSU for 1.5 years. Okay?
His best 18 months of his life.
That was the greatest 16 months of my life. 2 of them were fucked. But 2 of them were terrible. Terrible.
That nasty wiffle ball accident.
Oh, dude,
that nasty
crazy
wiffle ball accident.
First off, I don't know if anybody else knows this about me. I'm pretty sure Scott knows this about me. I am, personally, one of the greatest wiffle ball players that I know. Personally. I know there's a lot of good ones out there. I was fucking nasty in high school, right? Go to college, played wiffle ball, swung the bat one time, broke my foot in like 10 places. Terrible injury. Horrible. Fucked me over. Anyway, we're not here to talk about my faults. We're here to talk about Scott. No.
Speaking of faults, how about the Seattle Mariners this year?
Hey, man, do I get to give my top 3? Come on, do the people not get to know me?
I was going to say, what are you doing?
Do the people not get to know me? First off,
I just saw. I'm sorry, I got a little antsy there.
You got ahead of yourself. It's okay.
Yeah. A little bit.
So for me, I'm first and foremost for me, I would have to say I'm a Mariner fan. And it is what it is. When they're good, when they're bad, I don't care. I follow them from start to finish. It is what it is. Number 2 for me, obviously, it's gonna have to be the Seahawks, just because, again, start to finish, good or bad, whatever. I've always been a part of that. Number 3 for me, I'm not gonna bring the Cougars up because I think we've already established that. But I'm an old school Sonic fan, man. That was my first sports love. That's the first thing I ever wanted to watch or talk about or be a part of. And that's definitely something I'm going to try to incorporate into this show for certain.
A lot of reminiscing.
Oh, dude, go on.
Hopefully in the near future we can actually have a segment.
Oh, dude, go on YouTube and watch some highlights, dude. Like, we used to be good, man. In the 90s,
oh, yeah.
we were the shit back in the day. We were the
Always ran into the best player of all time, unfortunately, and the best team of all time.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'd put that Bulls team against any other team ever. I mean, dynamite, absolute dynamite. So I think that about does it for the getting to know you section of our show. We're not going to waste a lot of time with that every week, but I figure it's only fair that you guys get to know me. I'm going to sort of explain the format of the show a little bit, just so you guys are kind of familiar with it. Not that I'm really familiar with it yet, but we're going to fucking figure it out. We come into the week every week with 10 topics. I award very random, very partial, biased, judgmental points as I see fit personally. And if I feel like you deserve them, I'm gonna give them to you, even if I don't necessarily agree with you. If you come with it hard and strong with facts and things and stuff, I'm gonna be right there with you. But if you come at me with some pansy, unprepared, unrehearsed, just like bullshit, dude, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good, dude. So like I'm telling you, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, just be ready. Just be ready. These points is pain. So I think the only true way to start out the show First topic, obviously, big controversy in Seattle right now. That's obviously going to be with Cam Chancellor. Jake, I mean, where do you stand on Cam Chancellor? What do you think we should do? Is it something that you think we should cave? Do you think he should cave? Convince me of something.
I don't know exactly what it is he's asking for, or what the negotiations have been, if there's even been any. But from what I've read, is the Seahawks are not going to negotiate with anybody with, I think it was like 2+ years on their contract or something along those lines. They're basically drawing a hard line, saying, I don't care who you are. If you have this X amount of time left on your contract, we're not going to renegotiate with you.
Yeah.
So just deal with it.
So if we start out 0-4, do you budge? At what point do you cave at all? I mean, what do you think?
I don't think you can, because then what you're going to end up with is Cam Chancellor and Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner as your 3 players, and Sherman you're not going to be able to afford him. Thomas you're not going to be able to afford him. Michael Bennett you're not going to be able to afford him. Marshawn Lynch you're not going to be able to afford him. Anybody else on the team you're not going to be able to afford them, because you're going to have 3 guys that are making so much goddamn money that you're not going to be able to have as good of a team as you have right now. So I don't think you can budge on it. I understand what Cam wants. He wants more guaranteed money, is what I've heard that he wants, and that's understandable with the short career length of NFL players. But at the same time, he needs to understand that he's not going to, basically, if he wins this, he basically is going to destroy the team because of the standard that he's setting.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, too, you can't necessarily blame the Seahawks for not budging, but at this point, Cam can't really budge right this second either, you wouldn't think. I mean, if he's willing to miss 2 games, he's got to be willing to miss a bunch. I mean, he's already going to lose more money than he was hoping to make, which is a pretty bad situation for everybody to be in. Scott, I'm interested to see how you feel about this, because I know you're pretty irritated with the discipline of the team, and I think an enforcer like Cam Chancellor probably has a lot to do with that. Would you cave?
Unfortunately, Jake is correct, and you can't.
Minus points. You never, ever admit defeat to an opponent like that so far in. No.
I was going to elaborate, Mr. Point Giver.
No. And point taker away or minus points. Points. Yeah. You need to respect both ends of my power.
Obviously, since that's all I'm getting is in the negative right now.
Exactly.
The thing is,
you recognize the facts. That's plus 10 points.
There's. So this is where we're at basically at this point. Unfortunately, the fact that Cam Chancellor makes $7 million a year, he is getting paid. He's only like $1,000 less per year than the to be the highest paid strong safety in baseball in football. Okay, he's making $267,000 a game paycheck. Earlier in camp, they said that they're only $900,000 apart. So that means after the Monday Night Football game in 2 weeks, that idiot is going to lose more money than he would have made by being literally $900,000 apart.
Well, now the Seahawks don't have to fine him either. Sorry.
They don't have to. No, but he doesn't get game checks, though.
He's not going to get his game checks now, though.
The game checks actually matter. Like his preseason stuff and all the fines from holding out.
They don't care about
they'll waive all that, obviously. But yeah, and all he wants is all his money front-loaded so he can get out of the contract and then at 29 years old and get one more big contract, because the safety market dries up when you start losing your speed in your early 30s. It's kind of like with the running back, same situation.
Not always, dude. Charles Woodson.
But with a guy with his punishing mentality, that's probably what he's thinking. He's had a lot of surgeries, and overall, like over the off seasons and stuff like that, he tore his MCL right before the Super Bowl. He's got to see his writings on the wall, and he's trying to get one more big payday. So I understand why he's doing it, but fuck him. Sorry for the language, because he's fucking our team over.
But fuck him. I like your attitude. Points.
I just bought a new jersey literally 3 hours ago because I'm tired of wearing Chancellors.
Oh,
so that's how I feel.
Depending on what jersey it is, you could have big time points coming. Who'd you get?
Bobby Wagner.
That's a good decision. That's points. That's definitely points.
You know what? It was that or the 12th man, but I don't know.
For me, and this has always been my opinion. The Seahawks have made you a jersey. Like, that's the one they've made for you, the 12. That's yours. So get that one first.
That's only ours, though.
That's for you, though. And then you
Wagner
get another
gets the money.
jersey.
Wagner gets the money for their jersey sale, whereas the Seahawks would.
I don't know, man. Personally,
I pay them
it's a
enough
little
with my
bit.
$10
I don't know how I feel about wearing another man's name on my back. So I've always just been a 12th man kind of guy. Not to say that I wouldn't get another jersey, but I like my 12th jersey. I like my 12th jersey. Yeah. You know, I don't know really necessarily how to feel about Cam Chancellor at this point, but I do want to know how Mr. America over here feels. Big Daddy, break it down for me. Break it down one time.
You know, I think he needs to get his money while he can. He's in his prime right now. He's one of the best players in the league. You're not guaranteed your health.
So he is getting his money.
So get your money. Get more money.
Yeah,
it's
more
not.
money.
It's a business. Go out and get it. And
you have to get what the market will bear.
He's losing $250,000 a week by holding out.
Yeah, I know. It's a poor business decision that he made, but I get why he did it. And the other thing too is like it's not guaranteed money. It's not like baseball where you sign a contract and they have to pay you. If you don't perform, they don't pay you. And if they overpay you, you don't. That's their fault. So just. I don't know. I guess eventually we'll see what happens, but eventually he'll be.
Eventually he'll be
back.
on another team.
You think?
I think so. Personally, I think he's a goner.
I mean, is he irreplaceable? I don't think so.
No, nobody's irreplaceable. Nobody's necessarily irreplaceable.
It's unfortunate that the salary I don't know what you call it. The structure of the NFL is like this.
Yeah. Well, it's also unfortunate that somebody that knows that by holding out and by not being a part of the team that they're absolutely being detrimental to the team. I mean, for me, it's more than just you signed a contract, play it out. It's you made a pact with other men to be there, and you need to be there. I mean, everybody wants more money.
What about if there's some health issues there, or you see all these NFL players now that are 50 years old and can barely walk or can't remember their 20s.
They don't. But okay,
why would he want to go play those extra games? I don't know. Maybe he's thinking about that too.
$7 million a year.
That's a lot of money.
Sorry,
definitely getting compensated for your injuries, but
I mean, if you're worried about injuries, go fucking play tennis. I mean, it's everybody's out there going full speed.
Get this money, and I can get out by the time, like Scott, you said he wants another contract. What if he's smart and he's saying, I can get out when I'm 29 and have X amount of dollars and my health? And he's
not. He's not.
If that's the case, why not play till 30
in the contract?
and then be done?
He wants more of it guaranteed.
Right. Oh, Jake coming with facts. Jake coming with facts points.
Yeah, he's not looking for a larger contract. He wants more of it this year.
Right. So
if he stays healthy, he's going to get his $28 million at the end of the 4 years. He's going to. It's a 4-year, $28 million contract. Average of $7 million a year. However it fucking shakes out. Some of that is guaranteed money. He wants more of it guaranteed. But apparently he's only looking for $1 million guaranteed. When you're talking about $28 million.
Yeah.
Like you said, if he does have an injury right now, that the reason he's holding out, he's going about it the wrong way. If he comes back and
if he was injured, he could just come back and they'd put him on IR and he'd get paid the full amount and not have to do a fucking thing.
Exactly. So either way, it's a poor decision on his part. And like you were saying, he makes a pact with other men to be there. Cam Chancellor is kind of the brotherhood leader of the team, saying, "Hey, we're a family. We need to have each other's backs." He's the vocal leader of that proponent of this football team, and now he's going back and doing the exact opposite. So if anything, he's hurting his own reputation as the enforcer and the Family Guy
Speaking
team.
of reputations being hurt, I think that's a good segue onto our next topic. Jimmy Graham definitely not living up to his frickin' reputation. Made some comments today. He is pissed about his new role in the Seahawks offense. I don't know exactly what he expected. I think there's definitely some weird shit going on. Scott, Jimmy Graham, what's going on, man?
Well, I think Jimmy Graham is personally finding out that the Seattle offense doesn't revolve around anybody that's not Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
And he's not really liking it. He's a man who's the offense was tailored around him in New Orleans, and he's not liking the fact that, he's kind of like, why the hell did you bring me in if you're just going to make me a decoy half the time and go to other people? It kind of seems like he's a little, he's kind of a little for himself. I mean, he called himself in third person when we played him in the playoff. He's like, I'm Jimmy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who the hell are you? So, I mean,
I'm Jimmy.
So I don't know, yeah, right. It sounds like
he's that guy in high school that had the t-shirt.
Well, yeah,
that
but if
his
somebody
name on it.
asks you who you are, aren't you going to refer to yourself in the same third person? You're going to say, I'm Scott?
Well, yeah, I mean, who are you? I'm the shit. I don't know. I'm not the best, most prolific passing or receiving tight end since 2011 in the whole league. So I don't have that option to say that. But I mean, I don't know. I just I feel like he needs to kind of slow his roll. It's only game 2. I mean, Wilson is not one to throw the ball downfield and just let somebody make a play on it. You have to be open for him to throw it to you. And a lot of Jimmy's great shit was Drew Brees all right, go to this spot.
Fucking shit up there, yeah, that's a good point.
Here you go. I'm going to throw it to this spot. It's going to be there. I'm throwing it to you. Get your ass there and make the play. I feel like that was a lot of their offense, up the seam. Because that's what Drew Brees does. He has a beautiful deep ball. Where Russell Wilson does too, but he's I think in his mind he's more of I'm not going to throw it to a spot because I've had to play with people like Jermaine Kearse, who, dropped 4 balls in the NFC Championship game and shit like that. So maybe it's a little bit they need to figure out their own I think Jimmy Graham needs to make a really big, one-handed, crazy fucking catch this week. Get some confidence in Wilson to just lob it up for him. And then everything will be
I was going to say, yeah, I think what Russell needs to do is make a wrong read and throw in double coverage on Jimmy Graham and have Jimmy Graham just out-muscle 2 guys and then break a tackle and get another 15 yards. Russell Wilson needs to see what he's working with because even in college, even though that Wisconsin team was a Hail Mary by Michigan State away from probably playing for a national title, he's never had a dominant force at the receiver or tight end position, so he doesn't know what it's like to have a guy that is open when he's not open.
Well, and for me, it's do these motherfuckers just need to go out and have lunch? I mean, 2 easygoing, light-skinned brothers just getting together, having a good time, getting to know each other. I mean,
Jay Robinson's chicken and waffles.
Something. I mean, didn't Russell Wilson go to Jimmy Graham's godmother, whatever she was, his funeral? Didn't they get to know each other? Didn't they hug? Wasn't there some man-tier bro time, something? Stand on fucking top of the waterfall or something? I don't know what they need to do, but they need to get it together, because 0-2 is bad, 0-3 is a fucking disaster. And I don't care who you are. 0-3 is a fucking disaster. Big Easy, talk to me about Jimmy Graham.
I think he's frustrated, and it's part of being a football player too. A lot of people play the whole game and never touch the ball.
Yeah.
Linemen, a lot of receivers never touch the ball for an entire game.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating, and I don't think it's a selfish thing. I think he wants to get the ball, and I think you want guys on your team that want the ball. So,
yeah, exactly. A little bit of anger is a good thing. Points.
Him being so vocal to everyone about it is not the right way to do it.
No.
Get mad, get frustrated, but don't show it.
No, you don't go to the media with that shit. I don't like that either.
He didn't go to the media though. It's
somebody went to the media. He needs to go slap somebody around.
I was reading about it today. He's ducking the media, so the media is making up stuff because that's what they like to do. And then Pete Carroll today on an interview or yesterday, you said, Jimmy's frustrated. Pete is the one who said, I think he's frustrated. Yeah. He said, it was actually the coach is the one who said it, not.
So he's not pulling a Percy and crying about it, throwing a fit on the sideline, refusing to go back into the game.
So basically what you're saying is it's a non-issue and we should move on.
Yep.
A little bit, yeah, but I mean, he is a force, and we do need to get him involved in the offense more. And I think it is a matter of Russell Wilson needing to learn that he can trust Jimmy Graham to make a play on a football no matter where he throws it or no matter who's covering him.
Sometimes you just gotta let Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah, he's been doing that this year a few times.
That's right. Speaking of...
are we talking Black Jesus, or because that's back on TV?
I don't know, white devil. So, let's talk about some other guys that I think are really not clicking so far. And it's really not necessarily anything that they have any control over, really. But it's just, it's at this point in the season, it's kind of just over. I'm talking about the Mariners. There's really not any reason to keep watching as far as competition goes, as far as, like, the standings. We're not going nowhere, guys. Get your fishing poles ready. But there are some things left to watch for, right? Give me some excuses to watch. Hey there. Is somebody hitting a side of beef? Was that somebody doing
that was my dog.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That was my dog scratching.
Got it. Now, when you say dog, was it like your D-O-G, or was it like your D-O-W-G? Like, was it just JJ hopping around?
No, it was my D-O-G dog.
D-O-G. Okay, I like it.
She heard us start talking about the Mariners, and she got excited.
Yeah, right. Well, excite me, motherfucker. Give me some reasons to watch.
My reason to watch would be that I think we still have the second best offense in baseball since the All-Star break, don't we?
I think something like that, close enough to give you points going.
Right behind the Blue Jays. Kyle Seager's hitting over 400 in the month of September. Ketel Marte.
Okay, like
Kmart.
I think we already TM'd that, Kmart.
Yeah, I think Kmart's gonna become a thing.
Minus points for forgetting the nickname already.
I didn't forget it. I
had to tell you Kmart.
I was trying to make the point that they're calling him Ketel when it's just fucking call him Kettle. For Christ's sake, this is America.
Kettle.
But yeah, I mean, he looks like he could be, a solid future piece that could be a centerpiece of our offense and our defense as well.
They'll toss him the keys in spring training. I mean, here you go.
Yeah, Cano trying to make a push for hitting 300 on the year. He's up over 280. Nelson Cruz, I think if we were contending for the playoffs, would be right at the forefront of that MVP discussion. Basically, since we hired Edgar as our batting coach, it's been fun to watch the offense.
Yeah, that's been a good ride for a few months now. Just the first few months were so shitty it doesn't matter. Scott, Mariners, tell me why. What's the deal?
The reason to watch the Mariners is potentially to see the style of baseball that actually we were supposed to play all year. Coming out in September, we're 13-6 in September as we speak. With the bullpen having the lowest ERA in all of baseball. And it was at like a couple days ago. It was at like 1.82 or something like that, which is like the lowest in baseball. We're supposed to win games. We're supposed to win games by our pitching and our bullpen, which is what our formula was for success last year. Unfortunately, it didn't happen as much this year because it felt like whoever the hell we threw in the bullpen decided to go tits up and fuck us up. So it's kind of nice to see us playing some real solid baseball. And then, this offense could be something special next year if everybody comes back and Franklin Gutierrez who should win comeback player of the year.
Yeah, who could hit 20 freaking home runs points?
Yeah.
145 at bats, by the way. He has 15 home runs. Hitting 320. Yeah,
that's
come on,
crazy.
Bring him back. He's hitting out. He's playing out of his mind. Nobody, especially on our other podcast, decided to, or even had any idea that he would do anything like that.
Yeah.
Just keep him in the same role.
Yeah, exactly. Big fella, I know baseball is close to your heart, so you're going to watch anyway, but what are you watching for? I know you're watching for different things than the average guy. What are you watching for?
Yeah. I like watching the teams that aren't making it at the end of the year because they bring up young guys, and you get to see you get have a little bit of imagination and see who can help in the future or who's coming up around the corner in a couple years.
Yeah.
And I like to see the more athletic lineups. I think Sean O'Malley in there is tearing it up, and he's bringing another dynamic with Kettle Marte, Kmart,
Points.
and putting some speed at the top of the lineup, and we need that, and it's exciting, and I like it. So
I like
that's
it
my
too.
reason to watch is seeing the guys come up and see the potential and playing what if. You know, the rotation is looking better. Paxton's back, and we got some guys coming back to health. They finally put Ilias in the bullpen, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I think next year, if they get an average catcher, I'm excited of the possibility of maybe
one day
hopefully being decent. Yeah.
Well, speaking of lowered expectations, let's talk about the Cougars for a minute. I was really hoping to be 3-0. Can I award myself points for a great fucking segue? Hello. So I was kind of excited for them. I mean, I'm excited every year. Although I feel like I am the cancer in the fucking Wazoo program. They have not been good since the moment I stepped foot on that campus. They've been terrible ever since. Look it up. 04 to now. Anywho, really, tell me why they could be okay. Somebody convince me why they could be okay, or convince me why they're going to be terrible. Just lay it out there. Give me some reasoning. Scott, I know you're passionate. Tell me why.
Well, a reason to be optimistic is the fact that you guys have surprisingly not played the worst defense in all of college football, which has come to be expected from a Mike Leach team.
No, we're like top 200, top borderline top 175.
You're outside of the bottom 20. That's big. That's big.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Pack it up.
Jesus Christ.
Pack it up.
Well, what happened? Anyway. Ooh.
Oh.
We redo that.
Points.
That's kind. You're not giving minus points.
Cops don't get points. Burps get points. Ooh, no. Bad precedent.
I'll say a minus point.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Burps are minus points.
Yeah. Reason to be pessimistic, it is Mike Leach.
Yeah, he's
who might be the worst late-game clock manager of any football coach in the world.
If you love seeing your fucking head coach give interviews to reporters wearing a bucket hat, eating a popsicle, Leach is your dude. That's your guy.
He is a weirdo.
Yeah, he's not my favorite. Fuck the air raid. Moving on. Big fella, I know you're a Cougar fan as well. So give me some reasoning.
As a youth. But I think Mike Leach is the reason to be optimistic because he's pretty smart.
Yeah, he is smart. I guarantee
He's reinvented the game before, and he might be doing it again.
He's that guy
Their defense is better, but maybe he's turned a switch and finally got some players.
You never know. It's possible. I mean, it's, the possibilities are endless. Points.
All I'm going to say is Portland State. Portland State.
Fuck you. Points for making me feel bad. Jake, tell me why. Tell me why. Yeah.
I mean, definitely the defense has played better than expected.
Yeah. Not too unterrible.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't really get much worse than last year where they were, like, bottom in the nation in pass defense.
Yeah, you have to play a little defense.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but a little
They had one interception all of last season. Like, it couldn't get worse is basically what it was. The offense isn't what it has been in recent years, but...
That could be okay.
Exactly. I think Luke Falk is a better decision maker than Connor Holiday was.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Connor Holiday was pretty good, man. They just didn't have anybody that could run the ball. Connor Holiday was a soldier.
I don't know. I feel like he threw a lot of interceptions and some really bad interceptions.
Yeah, but when you throw it 75 times a game,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I haven't looked at exactly, all the statistics for Falk, but from what I've heard is that he's a better decision. He's not going to give the ball away just, blatantly horrible passing decisions. So,
No. Speaking
Luke
of
Falk,
horrible,
talking about stats with Luke Falk real quick. I'll interrupt. I apologize.
interrupt
he's
quickly
averaging
because we don't have a lot of time.
325 yards a game, 8 touchdowns, 1 pick over the first 3 games. So that's what he's doing
points
so far.
for brevity, sir. Points for brevity.
Holiday would have had like 12 picks already.
Probably.
More like 7.
Speaking of picks, let's talk about fucking DraftKings, where you fucking pick your team, and I don't know, there's like 150,000 commercials on every fucking channel all the time. Okay, let's 30 seconds a person. Tell me why you hate DraftKings commercials, Scott. What?
The fact is that I can't fucking play it. I can't play it. It's on every single thing, and I can't fucking play it. And I'm a gambler, and I like to gamble.
Yeah.
I think I said it about 5 times straight. I like to gamble.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. It's fucking
He's a
annoying.
joker, a
I would do it
smoker,
every
and
week.
a midnight toker. All 3 of those things. That's a pretty good reason to hate it, because you can't join it. That's good. Big Nasty, why do you hate it?
Well, I just don't like the idea of seeing the same commercial over and over, and I don't care what it is. Those goddamn Geico commercials piss me off. Whatever it is, I don't know. And I don't even have cable, so I get the internet, and I see the same commercial. What's that?
I said, you don't like saving money on your car insurance.
No, dude, I don't like that shit. I don't like commercials in general. Generally, when they come on, I turn the channel.
I remember as a kid in your house, when the commercials came on, your parents would mute them. I remember that specifically, always. Like, it never failed. They always muted the commercials. That was awesome.
Well, yeah. They turn the volume up, and it's annoying, and they're just trying to sell you a bunch of crap you don't need.
Yeah.
Be a good, do something else. I don't know, go to the bathroom or do some push-ups. Don't watch the DraftKings commercials.
My fat ass needs to do push-ups every DraftKings commercial.
Jake, talk to me about DraftKings.
I'm gonna tell you why I do like the commercials. I do like them because there's not a fucking annoying jingle that gets stuck in my goddamn head and pisses me off for the rest of the day.
Ooh, points for making a point. Points. Dude, that's good. There is no jingle. Dude,
I just pray to God that they're not listening.
If there was a jingle, there'd be riots. There would be absolute riots for jingles. Absolute
like
riots.
that stupid Nationwide commercial with Peyton Manning.
Nationwide is on your side.
I hate that shit all fucking day.
Yeah, I know. I'll be making up all kind of hurtful shit about Peyton Manning in that jingle voice. Yeah.
Your forehead is 5 times large.
Yeah. One more hit and I might die. Watch the playoffs from my couch. Yeah. There's lots of good ones. You can go all day with that shit.
Yeah, you can.
Speaking of going all day, a team that looked real good last week, the Huskies, they looked pretty dominant against a team that looked pretty decent against Utah. Jake, tell me about the Huskies. What do you think, man? How do they look?
Well, right now, I would say that the defense has surprised, that's for sure. You lose 3 All-Americans, a fourth that probably would have been an All-American if you hadn't gotten kicked off the team for being a hothead. Right. The offense, you put the true freshman in there and decide to play for the future, and all he does is, he struggled the first week, but I think that was more the play calling that was very plain and uncreative, I guess, more than imaginative, whatever the fuck I was trying to say.
Unimaginative.
Yeah, unimaginative, thank you.
There you go, points for making me look smart.
But now that they've kind of opened it up, you've seen him make all the throws, he's throwing rockets, he's throwing touch passes, he's throwing the deep ball. So I think that you definitely see the potential there and why he is your starter and why you decide to build for the future there. But also, like I said, that defense is a lot better than people thought it was going to be, losing 4 All-Americans and 6 of your front 7. So I personally am excited. I still think it's going to be a rebuilding year. I'd be pleased with 6 wins just because I think that the level of talent in the Pac-12 this year is pretty solid. You got Cal coming into town. this week they're putting up 50 fucking points a game, but.
Oh
Robot.
shit! Minus points for robot voice. Minus points for robot voice. Anyway,
Robot
moving on.
and Jake.
Yeah, Robot-y Jake. Yeah. Big Show. Big Show. Or do you care? Tell me why you do or do not care about the Huskies.
I like the Huskies because their defense is good, just like the Cougs. And I think they actually have a chance to beat Cal.
Yeah.
Cal's favored by 5 points.
Which is reasonable.
Yeah, but the Huskies are playing at home. I think there's a lot of reason for them to play hard. They're right at the tipping point of their season. And, I could see a good Husky win.
Yeah, I'd like
this
to see
week.
it
I don't
too.
think they're going to have a winning season, but this week.
Yeah, they could go 500 and surprise some people.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, what's your take on the Huskies?
Well, first game of the year when we were watching Boise State, I couldn't help but see how small our team was.
Itty bitty, little guys, little fellas. Is that Kevin
and
Hart?
So that had me freaking out.
Yeah, you know what you should do?
And then I dug deeper.
Beacon.
Right. I got some Marshawn on the line. He's get those clogged drains wide open.
Yeah.
Busting
through the lines.
But then we played that Sacramento State and they're garbage. So you expect to kick their ass, and then watching them play against Utah State, which you previously mentioned gave Utah a run for their money in Utah, and we had them. I mean, granted, they had a kind of Keaton was kind of gimpy, but I'll tell you what, the defense is well disciplined. They're making great tackles. They're not arm tackling like Sarkisian's teams would. You might have the best talented front seven in the nation like we had last year, but if you couldn't tackle half the time with arm tackles, what's that going to matter?
Hope you like winning 6 games, USC. Hope you like winning 6 games. Real quick, down the line, over under 6 wins for the Huskies, Scott. Over under 6.
I think they get 7. I go over.
Big, high and tight fella that I know so well. What do you think?
Under.
Under, I like it. Points. Jake, sir.
I would say 6 would be my realistic, but if I got to go over under, I would say over, just because I think that Browning's going to surprise some people. And same with the defense. Over
for being a homer. I like it. Moving on. I'd like to tell a story real quick. So probably the most embarrassed I've ever been in my life. I won a ticket to the MLS Cup a few years ago when it was in Seattle. Got taken to the Elysian Brewery for the first time. Little did I know that I really like Elysian beer. At least I did then. I got a little bit ham-boned, sir. It was terrible. I fell asleep at the beginning of the game, and I swear to God, I slept the whole way through until penalty kicks. And I, to this day, will not deny that is the best way to watch a soccer game.
I think that's how half of Europe watches soccer
exactly.
games.
It's the best way to watch soccer, man. Scott, tell me about the drunkest you've ever been at a sporting event.
Okay. Oh, the drunkest or the most embarrassing?
No, the drunkest. I want to hear the drunkest you've ever been. Tell me the story.
All right. So the drunkest I ever been was I finally got my uncle to go with me to a game, and he was a big soccer kid growing up. He's a few years older than me, obviously. And we tried to go college hard, where we drank way too much.
Brothers taping 40s to their hands.
Basically, yeah. We get to the stadium. We get to our seats. We're in the we're in the GA section. Really good seats. Then I'm still drunk. I have no idea what's going on. Next thing I know, I'm falling over the row of seats in front of me because apparently I couldn't stand still. I was just banging against I was going forward, banging against the front row, and then I was banging against the back row, and then finally I just gave myself too much momentum. And then I fucking fell over. Somehow I had a moment of clarity and then caught myself for hitting myself in the face in the concrete. Yeah. But I had two
points
two
for saving the moneymaker.
Right. I had 2 bruises the size of I don't know, like honeydew. like honeydew melons. Like that's how hard I hit.
Points for picking the most obscure fucking fruit ever.
And so I look around and I can't find my uncle. So apparently during the opening day fireworks, he had a flashback to Kosovo. He decided to walk home to Burien.
Oh,
so
shit.
That's kind of
I have flashbacks to Kosovo, and I grew up in Tukwila. That was terrible.
So hey, out the Bosnian beaters at the kids around in high school.
144th Street. Jake, tell me about the drunkest you've been at a sporting event.
Oh man! All right, so my 25th birthday. My sister rented a stretch Hummer limo to take me and a bunch of people down to the Mariners game. And we drank, of course, in the limo on the way down. We actually convinced the limo driver to pull over on the side of the freeway so a bunch of us could jump out and take a piss on the side of the freeway.
Oh, shit. Did the limo driver pee too?
No, he didn't. He did not.
Sword fighting on I-5. I like it.
So he drops us off. We get inside. I think it was the second beer is about where my night went dark, and I don't remember the rest. But in the time of those first two beers, met a really cute girl, got her number. But unfortunately, because I was so drunk that night, I also broke my phone, and it erased everything that had happened in like the past month on my phone when I finally was able to get it back to
minus points for not having the cloud figured out.
This was 3 years ago.
They had the cloud then.
Did they? Okay. Well, fuck, I don't know. How am I supposed to connect to the cloud when I'm at a goddamn Mariners game?
I don't know. Fucking figure it out. Points.
You can't even text
I don't even know what the cloud is.
Ooh, points for honesty. So I feel like the most interesting drunk sporting event story has got to be coming from Big Boozer. Give me your time, dude.
Yeah. So I had a friend in college, and he bought a 1972. I don't know what it was called, but it was an RV basically. For about $300. Yeah. So I went to Central in Ellensburg. He put about $500 into a muffler and tires, and then he put $1,000 into speakers.
Yeah.
And we would ride that thing around town.
Priorities.
It was awesome. So we took that to the Mariners game one time from Ellensburg with about probably about 7 or 8 people. And it went as you'd expect a bunch of college guys to go across the pass, and so we get there, and I sneak all these beers in, cans of beer around my belt.
Ooh, points for sneaking.
Yeah. So we got bleacher seats, of course, and I'm sitting up there just drinking, having a good time. And I leave to go to the bathroom, and the guy who owned the car had crumpled them up and put them under my seat. So they had alcohol enforcement who came around and saw all those beer cans and immediately thought it was me, which it was, but I wasn't the one who left them there. I'm not that dumb. So I got 86 from the Mariners game.
Nice.
I was super drunk, but I don't really get so drunk where I black out. But then I ended up going under the viaduct, hanging out with Rosa, and her pet chicken. Now she had a chicken on a shoelace, and she would walk around with the chicken. So that's how we got to talking. So and Rosa.
Points for not being judgmental. I like it.
Yeah.
Real quickly, we have a couple more things I want to get to. Burning question, 30 seconds apiece. Pretty hard topic here. Do you prefer to go to the Seahawks games, or do you prefer to watch them at home? Scooter, do you like going? Do you like sticking it at your house?
If I have to choose one or the other, I'd rather stay at home. The amount of money I spend is astronomical. Just because I like to party, I don't fuck around when it comes to going to sporting events. Also, just because the how many cameras and angles they have on TV, you can't get that. You can't get the experience of the stadium, but I mean, I feel like that. I try to bring the stadium back to wherever I'm hanging out at for the day, because I kind of start yelling a lot in the middle of games. So yeah, I don't know. If I had to choose one or the other, I'd probably stay at home. But I like to go to games too.
So you're indecisive and you get 0 points. Jake, sir, do you like going? Do you like not going?
I would prefer staying home. Like Scotty said, too expensive, because I also will end up buying 37 beers at $15 a piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I would definitely prefer staying home for Seahawks games.
Nah, points for choosing a position. Fuck. So
Jeez.
yeah.
Terrible segment.
Yeah, so I guess I have to ask the guy that doesn't necessarily have the opportunity to go to the games as often as we might. Big Daddy, what are you thinking? You like going? Do you like sticking it out at home?
No, it depends on what we're talking about. Seahawks?
Seahawks, yeah, generally.
Okay. Seahawks, I'm staying home because I can spend $30 and have a better time than spending $300 and going there. And I also lack impulse control, so I'm not good at.
Right. So I guess that answers that. None of us really would rather go to the game than watch it at home. I guess we're all pussies.
Yeah, we're getting old is what that means.
Yeah. That's not the most exciting news of the week. But let's get to something way more exciting. You tell me, you each have 30 seconds to explain to me why you feel this way. Stone Circle Deathmatch, fight to the finish, Russell Wilson, Tim Tebow, gods on both their side. Who knows what the fuck happens, who wins? Big Papa, tell me why.
Tim Tebow's winning, he's bigger.
Stronger,
and his biceps
more manly.
are big. Yeah, and he is. And Russell Wilson, he might be squirrely and might get away, but once Tebow gets him, he's punishing him. I feel like a chokeout. A chokeout is how that
points. So many points. Once Tim Tebow gets him. Oh, so many points. Jake, who wins in a fight?
Russell Wilson, because he knows how to win.
Yeah.
He's good in crunch time, man. So I'm gonna go with
so
Russell.
So is Tebow.
He's a proven winner.
Yeah.
Not at the highest level. He's not.
Yeah.
Dude can't even stick on a roster.
Yeah. Right. Scotty.
So I think this is how it's gonna shake down this fight. At first, we're gonna get Tebow talking about how God loves him and then it'll be fourth down, it'll be fourth and God, and then he'll knock Russell Wilson down, and Russell Wilson won't know what to do. Then Russell Wilson will drink his water, his recovery water, and then all of a sudden it'll be his Popeye spinach. It'll be up and good to go.
But it's the microbeads. It's the microbeads in the water. The micro bubbles.
I didn't know that was okay.
Yeah, that's how God gets in you. It's the micro bubbles, dog. You gotta figure it out. He's gotta figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. Tebow wins. Wins, dude. Points.
Wasn't done, motherfucker. I wasn't done.
I don't care if you're done. You're done when I say you're done. Points for the big man. Points for Jake. Minus points for Scott for fucking with me. Biggest laugh of the week has to go to the big man. That tall glass of water that we like to call Big Daddy. I think you take it. So give me one recommendation for the week, sir. Give me something that I should be looking for on the horizon.
Oh, on the horizon? Well, if you have Facebook
on the horizon,
Messenger,
underneath you, above you, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, if you have Facebook Messenger, some of the funniest things in the world you can do is create these things called a GIF.
Is it GIF or GIF? What do you call it?
GIF, or I don't know.
It's a GIF.
I call it GIF.
Anyways, it's a video that plays for like 4 seconds over and over and over. And I wish they had it for regular texting, because I would just do that to everybody for everything I want to say.
I like it.
Someone comes up with an app like that, I'll buy it.
Right.
But give it a try. There's like Jiffy. What is it? Jiffy. Not. I won't say Jiffy Lube, but
GIF for Messenger. Giphy.
Yeah.
Something
Giphy,
like that.
yeah.
No, good recommendation.
GIPHY. Giphy.
Giphy.
Super fun.
Giphy.
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 Giphy. All right. Well, that about does it for the week. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. For my friends, Big Nasty, Scooter, Jacob. What was that, sir?
More question.
Your what? Say it one more time.
I got one more question for you. I get to answer your question. Are you excited for the Pope?
No. Just no. Like, I'm not even excited about being unexcited. I am, just so far no. All
right.
Like,
Moving
there's like
on.
a line in the sand, and there's like way past that line, there's no. And then like way past no is me. Like, just no.
Yeah.
No. Not unless he's got like, not unless he's got some good weed or something. Other than that, I don't really care.
You know the pub's got good weed. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I don't know that he's got it, but I think if he wanted to get some, he could. I mean, that's a reasonable expectation.
Calling a favor, yeah.
Right? Oh, dude, you're so good. Points. I know it's over, but points. Rusty, give me a song to take us out for the week.
Oh God, on the spot with this song. Anything by Taylor Swift or that guy who covered Taylor Swift is awesome. I heard if you put Taylor Swift on Twitter, it blows up. You just put Taylor Swift. You get a lot of followers.
Just tweet it out, Taylor Swift. I like your moves. All right, well, here it is. Your ending montage. I hope you guys enjoy it.
'Cause baby, now we got bad blood. You know it used to be mad love. So take a look what you've done. 'Cause baby, now we got bad blood. Hey, now we got problems, and I don't think we can solve them. You made a really deep cut, and baby, now we got bad blood. Did you have to do this? I was thinking that you could be trusted. Did you have to ruin what was shiny? Now it's all rusted. Did you have to hit me where I'm weak? Baby, I couldn't breathe and rub it in so deep. Salt in the wound like you're laughing right at me. Oh, it's so sad to think about the good times you and I. 'Cause baby, now we got bad blood. You know it used to be bad love. So take a look what you've done. 'Cause baby, now we got bad blood. Now we got problems, and I don't think we can solve them. You made a really deep cut, and baby, now we got bad blood. Did you think we'd be fine? Still got scars on my back from your knife, so don't think it's in the past. These kind of wounds, they last and they last now. Did you think it all through? All these things will catch up to you, and time can heal, but this won't. So if you're coming my way, just don't. Oh, it's so sad to think about the good times you and I. 'Cause baby, now we got bad blood. You know it used to be mad love. So take a look what you've done. 'Cause baby, now we got bad blood. Now we got problems, and I don't think we can solve them. You made a really deep cut, and baby, now we got bad blood. Band-aids don't fix bullet holes. You say sorry just for show. You live like that, you live with ghosts. Band-aids don't fix bullet holes. You say sorry just for show. If you live like that, you live with ghosts.
Bury me alive, bury me with pride, bury me with berries, that forbidden fruit and cherry wine. Thank you very much, but tonight's my night and I'm buried by swinging for the faces, barbaric, Kendrick, and Adam time. Everything in life subject to change, change with, change ground, change glow, change opinions right before I change my mind. I don't really know your business, been in this since I was bending Lego block. Now you tell the world about me, dry switch, tater tots on my shotgun. Not gonna pop when necklace starts, sky's the limit, I gotta finish at the first rapper on Mars. Walk my word, I'ma make my mark, even when they start that martial law, even when these martial more energy, fuck your amenities, I'm getting better with time. I'm waking